Good morning, welcome back to the channel. You join me on a very exciting morning as I'm just heading off on another camping trip to York. Just got to put the last bits on the bike and we will be on our way. Now, I was meant to start this trip yesterday. I booked 2 nights, but I've got to be honest, the weather was looking appalling. It was heavy rain all day long and I really agonized over it, and then I just thought, you don't have to, it's supposed to be fun. You want to start your holiday off soaking wet. So we had a great day at home. And of course, when you're packing for a trip, you have the usual little bit of tension. Did I remember everything? What if it gets soaking wet? What if we get cold? What if the bike breaks down? And then you're on your way and it's all forgotten. Come what may, everything's going great. I watched a nice video by a guy called Paul Messner, who does backpacking stuff, not biking. And he was giving 10 years worth of experience and wisdom on backpacking and camping trips, and it was brilliant. And the one that really caught my eye was, no need to pack your fears. Oh, isn't that great? Whatever else you pack, don't pack your fears. We could talk a bit more about the gear later, but the bike is feeling good. I reckon I've got about 20 kilos of gear on the back. I might increase the suspension preload. If only there was a helpful video to show you how to do that. But it's feeling good so far. You take your life into your own hands sometimes here. Giant potholes, cars doing weird things. Oh, I can smell the sheds from that shed shop. There's a very distinct smell of shed. I'm very interested in sheds at the moment. Thinking about building one. I tell you, you're young and cool and with it, and enjoying your life, and then one day you wake up and you're suddenly interested in sheds and World War II museums. There's no in between. This is called Spitfire Island. It's a rather dramatic sculpture. Got to see it from the other side. And we're passing Go Outdoors and Sports Bike Shop without going in. What's going on? Ah, the A38, that's what we're looking for. Get me out of Birmingham. I've got the new long boots on, and they're still pretty new, and it feels like my brake pedal doesn't work, but it's the boot. It's stopping me a little bit. Got to wear these in a bit more, but they're comfy and warm and waterproof, which is why I chose them for this trip. 3 hours left to go. Coming into a little place called Measham. Here's the museum, which doesn't look very open. But what a charming little place. Look at this, the Imperial Cinema. That used to be a cinema, gosh. And Robin's DIY. How bad do I want to look in Robin's DIY? Now, I always say this, I've probably said it to you before, but I just find it fascinating how you live your life from day to day, going to work, go to town, go to the shops, whatever you do, and every day there's someone here in Measham who thinks, this is town, these are the shops, these are the roads, you know? There's so many little places that you don't know where people are living, and Christmas Day every year there's someone in these houses enjoying a Christmas dinner, or whatever they do in Measham, and you didn't even know they existed. You've got an idea of, in your head, of what a country is or a nationality, and you don't even know a tiny percentage of everyone who's here and all the towns and things they're doing. Whole town, never mind people in their living rooms watching Christmas telly, whole towns you didn't even know existed, where there are people living their lives. That's a nice thought. That's as deep as it gets at 9 o'clock. We have ridden under a big dark grey cloud, and I can't imagine I'm going to skip the rain for the entire trip, but it would be nice. Right, we might have to stop and suit up. Oh yeah, look at that. Just in time. Of course, as soon as we put on the waterproofs, the weather will brighten up. But I'll take that deal, no problem. Okay, here we go. Watch the weather pick up beautifully now. That's okay with me. There in the distance I can see the cooling towers of the power station, and we're heading towards Nottingham on the 453. And we're coming out from under the cloud and it's beautifully sunny, just passing Nottingham Trent University, Clifton campus. 2.5 hours to go. Oh, here we are. Nottingham is quite a place. Ooh, I see traffic. Alright, it's time to take a little break. I know. Oh, here we go. It just, yeah. I just want the centre stand. When I've got this much luggage, it just feels more stable. Whew. Oh man, you are salty. So it's been just over 2 hours so far. We've got 2 hours and 6 minutes left to go. Let's see what we've got here. Oh yes, it's time for snacky snacks. Yeah, a little break and a walk around, stretch your legs, does you the world of good. Right, I'm going to get back on the road and charge this bad boy up for a minute while I drive. Right, we've got a little level crossing. Let's weasel our way up so we can take a look. Weasel, weasel, weasel. There we go. Cool. Unless you live here, and then it's probably a pain. Riding through the interesting town of Thorn here reminds me of being in France, just heading through all those different places and wondering what it was like to live there. Ken Irwin Motorcycles.com. Ooh. Hello, Ken Irwin. The eBay store. This is Rawcliffe Bridge. see another power station there in the distance. Oh, that's Drax. We know about Drax. Well, my year 7s do anyway. Passing over a big swing bridge, and future Rich will have to tell you where it is. Here we are, entering the city limits into York. Turn left. Here we are, Willow Farm. Oh dear. You've got a bug. Happens all the time on the visor, but gross. Here we are, Willow Farm campsite, which I think may be more of a caravanning site with a few spaces for tents. Oh, that's nice. Shambles washing up. This place looks nice. And the camping is at the end. I'm hopping off for a minute to explore on foot. He's even got his little tin lid here, ready to put under the stand. Look at that. Right, a few minutes later, camp's all set up, and it's time to get back on the bike and head into York city centre to see what I can see. And I'm aiming for a place called Dennis Street, which seems to have good bike parking. Let us out. Thank you. Well, there's a couple of things I'd like to do if we can. I'd like to walk the walls. I'd like to go to Betty's and get a fat rascal. I'll show you what that is when we get there. And I'd like to show you the Minster, but not the inside bit. There's something on the outside that I need to show you. Okay, we've got some pretty serious traffic on the way into York, and it's time to weasel. Oh yes. This looks like the problem. Can we go there? Yeah, we can. Watch out for him. There's the Minster. So the city of York has obviously expanded far beyond the original walls. So it's funny because you're already inside the city when you come across these walls and you feel like you're entering the real city. So there are various gatehouses around the city, and the walls they're not totally complete, but almost. And just by going up and down some stairs and in and out of some gates, you can walk all the way around, which is what I'd love to do. Oh, I see. Like that. Fair enough. Everybody goes left. Is this it? Yeah, oh, there it is. Okay. Well, can I do that? Okay. Dennis Street is the spot. If you would like a place to lock your bike. I am going to faff a little bit now, just to warn you. I haven't decided yet what waterproofs I'm going to wear and what I'm going to leave in the top boxes and such. So I won't make you sit through that. We'll just instantly go to the point where we're enjoying the city, like this. Right, let's have a look around. What a cool place. York has quaint shops and murals and all sorts of interesting things to look at. Now, one of the most famous bits of York that tourists always want to visit is the Shambles, which is right here. It's just this narrow street with cobblestones and old shops. And there's a queue to get in. I don't suppose there are many places in England that look more like Diagon Alley than the Shambles in York.
A 2 hour wait for it.
Ah, the market.
Leading.
You know when you're in a new city or somewhere you don't know and you go for a wander first of all and then things start to make sense and you start looking at the map and you start to know where you are, and that's not going to happen today. I'm just going to wander and see what I see. And here it is, Betty's Tea Rooms, Bakers and Confectioners. It's one of the last of a bygone era. You might not get it. On the face of it, it just looks like a slightly posh tea room, but it's kind of an institution. And then now it's a tourist attraction because it's got the reputation, but you honestly can't even get in the door. Have a look. Hiya. Do you have a fat rascal? Or did I just imagine it? Could I could I take two, please? In 2 bags. Thank you so much. This ain't no ordinary rock cake, people. This is a fat rascal from Betty's in York. I am only sorry that you can't, well you can, you just have to come here yourself. Right. Let's go. Here it is. York Minster. Right, tour guide bit coming up. First of all, what is a minster? Well, as far as I can tell, it's a cathedral. And York is one of the 2 most important in the country. I know this because there's an Archbishop of Canterbury and an Archbishop of York. I believe York might even have been the capital of England at one point. But today, I'd like to tell you the story of someone called Richard Shepherd. Richard Shepherd lived in York and was, amongst many things, a very successful classical music composer. He was the head teacher of a posh school here, and he was the Chamberlain of York Minster. Now, I don't know what that means, but I believe it's important. And he was a very celebrated member of the community. He and I occasionally exchanged emails when we were amused about a mistake of identity of some kind, like someone who thought that he was a wedding photographer or that I was a classical composer. But I never actually met him. He did say I should pop down sometime and he'd give me a tour, which was very generous of him, and unfortunately I never got the chance. I really wish I had now, because he passed away a few years ago. Now, one of the things that Richard Shepherd is known and appreciated for here in York is that he was instrumental in raising the some £20 million needed to restore parts of the cathedral, including the east window. So I was very surprised to get on my news alert for the words Richard Shepherd, that Richard Shepherd has been made into a gargoyle at York Minster. I'm going to try and see if I can find it on the east window. I can't believe it. Here they are making gargoyles like the one I hope to find. I think a gargoyle is just, well, it's a grotesque. It's like a scary or funny or caricatured version of a person. And some of them had water spouts at the corners where the drains let out the rainwater, and some of them were just there for decoration. I'm sure someone will say that they're intended to ward off evil spirits, but I think they're just funny. Right, this is it. This is the east window for sure. Let's see if we can find him. Oh, it's enormous, isn't it? This is much harder than I thought. Not you. Yes, I think I found him. He's a long way up. I had to look up the picture from the news story and try and match up the position. And it looks like him. You can't see with this. Hang on, let me get my phone out. Oh, I'm so glad I found him. There he is up there, my namesake, Richard Shepherd, as a gargoyle. What an honour, eh? To have your image be made into the fabric of the building. Wonderful. I think this is the Fisher Gate or Postern Gate. This is what I remember. As a medieval city, York had these strong city walls to keep the baddies out. And the city has long since expanded beyond that. But most of the walls are still here. And there are gates all the way round in different places, which are now roads going in and out. But between them, you can walk the sections of the wall. And you can just get all the way around the city, except you just have to come down to street level and cross a road and go back up again. I did ask an expert how far it was and how long it takes, and I've forgotten how far it was, but I remember it might take me 2.9 miles, maybe. It might take me an hour. They close the gates to these bits at dusk, which varies throughout the year, but they do it in an anti-clockwise direction. So as long as you get onto the walls and you're walking anti-clockwise around the city, you'll be able to complete the circuit. It's odd, just inside the wall here there are some back gardens and front gardens of some modern houses inside the city walls. It's a bit incongruous. The bike boots are actually doing pretty well. I thought they'd be uncomfortable, but they're good for walking. This is Walmgate Bar, WALM. It says it's the most complete gateway into the city. It's a nice walk, but every now and then you do have to climb a staircase. Oh, look. So this section's missing. And you've got to follow the signs past Quickfit and walk down the road a little bit. We pick up the walls again, that Layerthorpe Bridge. Layerthorpe Bridge. Oh, wow. Here we are as we come to the northeast of the city. We can see the Minster there. At Monk Bar, we don't just climb up a staircase. We have to go inside the tower. You just don't get this kind of stuff in Birmingham or many other cities for that matter. Good Lord, what a back garden. Gray's Court, York. It's a hotel. Oh, it's a tight bit. Ooh. This bit's tight. I reckon we're about halfway around the city, and yeah, it's taken half an hour. Let's keep going. Here's another bit where we run out of wool, and it continues at a place called LiDL Bridge. Without wishing to be too libelous, this is a fine example of what we call passing off. The logo for Bailey's Cafe and Tea Room looks very familiar somehow. I guess this must have been the toll house over the bridge. Yeah, this is LiDL Bridge. View of the river. Yeah, I recognise this. I remember this stretch very well because I think we have, yes, the Royal York Hotel just outside the walls here, where we stayed once. That was pretty special. If you're visiting York, coming by train would be a really special way to see the city. I mean, motorbike is great, don't get me wrong, but a train would be a lovely way to visit this particular place. So you can either go downstairs or carry on through the tower. Is convenient. I tell you, these boots are okay, but they're not great. The feet are going to be sore at the end of today. Where do I go now? This is called Clifford's Tower, and behind us is the Castle Museum. Are we there? Fishergate Tower. Yeah, we are. This is where I came in. Because you're going in a very slow circle. You think you're just walking straight ahead, or maybe a little turn to the left every so often. But of course, give it long enough and you have completely encircled a city. Yeah, that took just over an hour. I'm to get a drink and sit down for a bit and figure out what I'm going to do next. So I sat down for a minute, had a little rest, and I thought, oh, maybe I'll walk around a bit more. No, the feet would like to stop now. So let's get kitted back up, and I'll head back to the campsite. What a lovely thing to do, eh? On a summer's evening. Well, that was just a lovely visit. How long do you think it would take to ride around the city? This is a lot faster and easier on the feet. Nightly bile beans keep you healthy, bright-eyed and slim. You really can follow the walls all the way around, can't you? Right, stop going on about the walls now, Rich. We've heard enough about that. Let's go back to camping, please. Okay. Whatever you do, don't try driving a car into the centre of York. That was awful. I believe they have a nice shop and a nice cafe, but I don't think we're going to see any of it. Sorry, boys. Oh, it is hot. I'm just going to get settled in for a bit, sort out the tent. Maybe take a shower in the evening instead of the morning. Sort out some dinner and put my feet up. Oh, what a beautiful place. You know, when I was packing, I thought about, oh, what are you going to do at the campsite? Are you going to take a book? You're going to, at one point, I even thought about bringing some work. I was going to bring some tests down here to mark. Can you imagine? And I've got my Kindle, but all I really want to do is walk around, drink my hot chocolate, and just do nothing.